You're watching Tides of Time, preserving the world's threatened marine sites. Brought to you by UNESCO, Jager Le Coultre, and the International Herald Tribune. This month, South Africa and the iSimangaliso wetlands. How do you protect a site that is actually more than a dozen different sites? Marine sites often have terrestrial parts to them. iSimangaliso is made up of 13 separate components, land and marine. Many are like islands, surrounded by other landscapes not always perfectly suited to the fauna and flora living there. Some World Heritage sites are large enough to sustain the local populations, but with serial sites, like iSimangaliso, its components are often too small. The solution is to connect them. It's possible to ensure connectivity through corridors, allowing animals and plants to migrate and find nutrients they need.
Connectivity is very important because we are talking about a landscape which is much bigger than the 220,000 hectares. The 220,000 hectares are the protected areas, but it's important that connectivity is guaranteed between these areas so that the viability of the species can be guaranteed. One example is the Mkuzi Game Reserve, which is part of the protected area, which has an important population of white rhino. The white rhino had disappeared from much of the coastal areas before it was reintroduced. But in fact, Mkuzi is a very dry area, and normally there used to be a natural migration of these animals to the wetter parts near the coast, but because of developments, these migration routes were cut, and so the park authorities in the past were forced to create artificial watering holes in the Mkuzi Game Reserve. Restoring this connectivity will mean that these traditional migrations, seasonal migration patterns, will again start to revive. So it's very important for the long-term viability of the ecosystems.